After a temp of bubbling, we finally broke the curse. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So, Blurple has just been the bane of my existence for all of these new types that we've been to. I did nothing but smashed, destroyed, and absolutely eradicated. So I've been looking at a lot of different tournament data, and I decided to come up and test out some ideas that, could make the Blurple matchup, a little bit easier on me to try to do. And shout out to all the people that have had success with Wing, because this was an uphill battle. So we ended up getting third place. We actually ended up beating both of our Blurple opponents, which was insane. I lost the mirror because this deck is more geared towards handling Blurple. Now you're going to notice we're playing bird mode. Now you're probably like, why are we playing bird mode, Robbie? So I originally thought this was really dumb, but the idea is you drop this, you accelerate up one turn. Technically, if you go second, you should be dropping the big guy on turn 6 to board clear your opponent. You have to live to that point, which means you're going to have to use the acceleration from this to work in your favor. You have sword strikes. I made some really interesting choices to make sure that, we could try to live to that point. It's also a 2/2, so this at least trades into a Zaku after it ramps you up. So, this card's doing its job. And if they Fatal Strike this, oh boy. It's also a link target for Hero Yui, which, that didn't come up. It's been a while since it has. We are playing for Lafrith, aka the Fatal Strike target of Doom. This guy eats 2 Zakus, which is supposed to be his job. If not, it trades into something really big passively, which I don't really think is supposed to be all that bad. But Lafrith has done pretty much everything that I need it to do. You notice no Zwarts in this list. I cut the Zwarts for basically bird modes. Did I miss Zwart? Really? No. The only thing Zwart does is he just trades into a Zaku, and he's a going second play for you to be able to kind of capitalize on, which is a decision. Next up, we have more Rickies. You need these just to be defensive options. As much as, do I miss having 3 of this as opposed to 4? I do kind of want to cut this back down for something else, but we'll see how the format is going to shift, with Korska getting hit, because if I get Korska'd, and they're making the token line, I cry, but now there's less of that to happen, so now when they base, do their thing, it'll be a little bit more controlled, and I won't feel so bad. This card was MVP, man. This card absolutely was a powerhouse. As much as I hate Sword Strike, you need a card that can control Blurple. And you slap a Cura on this, you bounce one, kill the other thing for free. You force your opponent to then have to answer this through whatever they might have, which usually is going to do a good job on cleanup working for you. Now, something that I teched in, we went with 2 Hawk of Endymion. It's an Earth Federation pilot, but it also has the action to bounce something back to the opponent's hand with 3 or less HP on the action phase. I've seen lists that were trying to play 4 of these. I only have 2 hollows, so I opted to go with the 2. I was originally, before I was playing bird mode, I was playing the Shenlong Gundams and Wu Feis and things like that, but somebody that I know from my local area was playing this in another list, and he was talking about having a huge success with this for himself. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take that advice, and we're going to test Hawk, because, it's coming up. But, when somebody else is making it work for them, it's pretty good. This card is wonderful. This doesn't die to stupid Fatal Strike. Also comes in at a 3/4. This thing answers some of the other big problems that other decks are kind of throwing at you. And I think that was one of the things that I've always liked about Launcher Strike is its job is to handle those big threats. Something had to give. I decided to cut Striker Pack down to 3. Now, the reason for this is there have been a lot of games where like I'll burst a Strike Pack and I'm just like, oh, like I can't do anything with this, like it's just worthless. At least, if we have these, it's going to get mowed down by Fatal Strike or, something else defensively. So I think this was a good call to go to this. I don't recommend this. When the meta shifts back, like if Blurple, loses its dominance, then, we do kind of see probably a shift back to this. But I mean, when my whole day is to just play against Blurple, you just build your deck to that. The 4 Kira, I mean, this never changes, right? Like, Kira is such an insanely good card. This was something I made a concession on. We went to 3 Ailstrike. The reason for this was, against Blurple, I need less big cards to, like, try to not die. Which, the statement's going to be contradictory when you look at the back half of the deck here and you look at the other tech choices that I've got. But this was, I did miss the Kira. But the problem is, like, 95% of the time, if I don't see the Hawk, I'm going to have to Kira into the Sword Strike to live. So on the next turn, this is going to be a 4/4 anyway, with Blocker. Like, that was the logic behind it. It didn't hurt. We are playing 3 Overflowing Affection. Did I miss the 4th? In what testing and I've played, I didn't feel bad about missing it. I mean, it's 1 mana, filter 2 cards out of the deck, and you're playing less copies of certain cards, so it does feel a little bit bad. I might change this, because this does help. In terms of bases, we're playing 2 Desert Base. I want to test 3/1, because, like, against Blurple, this card's nuts, man. Like, on your 6th turn, dropping base, dropping hero, dropping wing, and then you just recover off of the wing. Like, if you attack into a 2 weenie, like, you just heal up to full. Like, you just start controlling the game the minute that this comes down. Like, it is a very deadly combo for your deck to get that recovery 2 and just have your big boy continue to stick around. But you have to get to that point. So, I guess this is where my deck, like, contradicts my previous statement. So we are playing 2 Justice. I like this because it puts a big boy on the field. That's kind of where, like, my logic has been with some of these decisions. Like, you do need big bodies to play the game, and you need things on curve. So I made the concession to play 2 of these. We are playing 1 Ultron. So I'm going to be honest with you. I want the 2nd Ultron in the deck pretty gosh darn bad for the Big O matchup, because I am so sick of having O come down and, you don't really have things to kind of do your thing. Also, this guy's job is to, clean up the other blocker matchup. Like, as much as I say this deck is fine-tuned to handle, Blurple, you still have to have cards in it for the other matchups, because you could just go a whole day with not playing Blurple. And it was, this was just a concession that, like, could I cut a Justice to play an Ultron? I mean, sure. But, like, having the Justice deploy the blocker token does feel, kind of important. The rest of the deck is incredibly easy here. We have 4 Hero Yui. This was pretty self-explanatory. Playing 4 the Death Machine. This card on curve is absolutely nuts with a Hero Yui. This card saves my life. And I was testing 3 this earlier in the week. I was being really bad. We're playing 3 Wing Zero. I made a very last minute change when I changed the deck from the Wu Fei like build. I went back to 4 of these. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, you need this card. You see this card on curve, you clear a whole field. As long as you're killing 2 bodies with this, or, you're putting the high maneuverability up on the field, this guy's doing his job. And he does it quite wonderfully. He's the reason why he's kind of the Grim Reaper of the meta. So, but I mean, My matchups with red are not the greatest at the moment. I need to test that more, but we'll see where it goes. But this card, I'm actually, this was good. I was going to play Death Scythes. We were so close to that. But hope you guys enjoyed this. Check out all the crazy BS that we do down below for this channel. You guys have a good rest of your day. All right, peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.